Hi, I'm Mary Brody, and I'm the author of Revenue or Relationships Win Both. I encounter the word trust at least 5 times each day lately. In one case, a client suggested that I read the book, The Speed of Trust by Stephen Covey. And I already read about 50% of it when I got the suggestion, and it was amazing. But what I realized after reading it was that it's hard to be trustworthy if you don't know who you are. To be trustworthy, you need to be authentic. And that may sound easy enough, but do you know who you are so you can live authentically? And if you don't know who you are, you may be living a life that doesn't reflect your true self, but it may reflect the life of who you wish you were. So you may be living an authentic life according to your self-image. But if your self-image is an authentic lie, then that life will also be an authentic lie about you to the world. Subconsciously, you always know the truth about yourself. But the catch is that you may not ever consciously realize that, especially if you don't know you. Although it's important to be authentic to be trustworthy, if you can't be 100% authentic because you don't know who you are, that means that it will be hard to be trusted. And this applies to trusting yourself too. It's hard to trust yourself if you don't really know who you are and you subconsciously know you are lying about yourself to yourself all day, every day. So this raises the question, what does it mean to know who you are? Authentic living means that you know and live your personal values and allow them to guide your life decisions and your actions. If you don't do that, you'll be inconsistent in your communications, including your decisions and actions. And that disconnect between motivations, words, and actions will communicate to others that you are someone that you're not, or someone who you don't want to be. So you may appear to be lying about yourself and just not even realize it. People around you may label you as a hypocrite, and you may not quite know why. But they may be doing that because they can most likely sense that you have a self-image that you portray to the world, while you, as a person, are someone very different. And if you buy into that self-image you portray to the world, you may not understand why they call you a hypocrite either. And that confusion continues to create a vicious loop. Now, for my own self-improvement, I got a personality test done to better understand my strengths and weaknesses with the hopes that I could better define my personal brand. Sometimes how we see ourselves is completely inaccurate because our self-image is often based upon what a few influential people in our lives tell us about ourselves. And their insights are based on perceptions of who we are, which may reflect what they want us to be or who they assume we are. Now, most people see a very small side of you, which is why someone may say, I knew this person for years. How could they do this action that I just don't understand? And it's simple. You never saw that side of them, or you didn't want to see that side of them. That's why it's good to get feedback about yourself from others, but not take it too much to heart. Their feedback may not represent actually who you are. Their story may not reflect a true story, only their perception of you. But if you trust them, you may think that they're right when they aren't. So with this personality assessment, I got a more unbiased yet true story about my strengths and my weaknesses. And it was enlightening, and I changed how I talked about myself. I started focusing on my strengths, which gave me more confidence, which subsequently led to greater self-trust. And your self-knowledge helps your authenticity to grow because you are validating who you are. And that action alone inspires others to be accountable, to be themselves too. And that cycle will continue. Now, that is what happens with authenticity at a personal level. So imagine the power of a brand if it is authentic. When a brand is authentic to its vision, mission, and values, it becomes an engine. But what happens when a company isn't authentic to its vision, its mission, and its values? Exactly what happens with individuals. The customer experiences won't reflect the brand and conflict with all brand communications, causing some type of hypocrisy. Often such companies end up out of business. Let's consider an example like Target that has succeeded in the US, but had trouble in Canada. Why? It has to do with Target expressing its authenticity in one country and not the other. Now, Target is a brand that's about people. Sure, it may be a store that sells objects, but it does it with the intent of improving people's lives. Every ad shows how someone's life can be improved with goods from Target, from cleaning solutions to home goods to clothing to toys. And Target communicates this through its brand promise. Expect more, pay less. Or rather, expect value for your dollar. They don't sell luxury items, but they do sell quality merchandise that will last at a reasonable price. And that's what their customers want, value for their dollar. They offer brand names, low prices, lots of selection, and set an expectation that all items are in stock unless they tell you otherwise. This allows a value hunter to update their personal style and home effortlessly, easily, and affordably. And if you look good and live in great surroundings, often you feel good. And this speaks to the expect more message. Expect more not just from Target, but from your life and living. Now, when it comes to employees, the Target brand openly supports human rights and justice. In many ways, this speaks to the expect more side of their brand promise. Inclusivity should be expected. Same with compensation. Sure, you say, what can you really expect? Because it's retail. But Target employees did receive COVID bonuses, holiday bonuses, and they have a bunch of other benefits. Now, happy employees make happy customers, and an authentic brand will foster the existence of both. And this will foster customer and employee loyalty to the brand if the brand is loyal to them. There'll be more on this in future videos. So why did Target fail in Canada? So let's consider a bit of what it means to be transparent and accountable by delivering on that brand promise, expect more and pay less. Well, for a store like Target, that means that they needed to be transparent and accountable in their supply chain, because that's an integral part of their accountability. That's why Target's successful entry into Canada required a solid supply chain to keep shelves stocked and items priced low. But instead of customers going to the stores and seeing fully stocked shelves, customers went to the stores and saw nothing. So they stopped expecting anything, saw the brand promise as faulty, if not an outright lie, and they just shopped elsewhere. Target wasn't delivering in their brand promise agreements in Canada, and their prospective customers expected less and less from them. They had no option but to leave Canada within 2 years. How they entered Canada wasn't representative of their brand, and it didn't represent their standards for accountability or transparency. Now, in the US, Target seems to have resolved its supply chain issues through mail delivery, same-day delivery through nearby stores and delivery services, and by building smaller stores in more diverse locations. Although large Walmart megastores are everywhere, and Amazon literally delivers anywhere, Target wins in brand trust because of its focus on people and building relationships. You expect more and pay less at Target. It's not about cheapest, it's not about the easiest to get, it's about the quality. And this speaks to the experience at the store in all ways. I'd like to share a personal story about how Target treats customers and how they use customer loyalty to build brand trust. I placed an order for toilet paper, of all things, and it didn't arrive when expected. Somehow the order got lost in the warehouse. I was upset because I needed the order. I was running dangerously low on toilet paper, and now I had to get it from Amazon rather than Target because Amazon delivers so fast. So I called Target and submitted my issue on the site, and I think I made more of a mess of things because I contacted them through all channels, chat and phone, at the same time. But hey, I was pretty upset at the time. So anyway, Target looks at the long game with the customer relationship rather than short-term results. So they didn't just rush the delivery. They gave it to me for free. And I felt bad that they gave me so much, but in their eyes, they didn't. To them, they lost the order. I mean, who does that, right? And yes, I still buy my TP from them via delivery. And yes, they deliver their orders on time. But after that problem, I learned how to trust them more and to know that they have my back. So that's why I keep shopping at Target. Now, just for the record, Amazon's response would have been to resend the order for a charge, not for free. They would have refunded the original order and asked me to resubmit the order online. Target consistently demonstrates brand authenticity, transparency, accountability, and loyalty to their customers. It's why they're a generally trusted brand, and of course, the press treats them okay. Generally, though, there's consistency in their communications, their actions, and their words. They're authentic, and they have a powerful brand because of that. Authenticity helps create consistency and builds trust in people and in brands. And if a brand isn't able to execute on the authenticity of who it is, it will seem hypocritical, and the company just won't do well, if not outright close down, due to the damage of the hypocrisy and inconsistency in expectations, agreements, operations, but most importantly, the trust that a customer has of a company. Break that trust deeply enough, and a customer will be encouraged to find a new company to help them solve their problems. And now they've given that new company an opportunity to have a role in their lives as the trust with them grows.